Hey there, you're listening to Oops&Giggles, and today is just me diving into something I think we all struggle with at one point or another. Mood swings and the importance of taking time off to recover. Sounds serious, right? But don't worry, we'll keep it light and of course find the humor in it all. Because let's be honest, life's way more fun when we laugh through the chaos. You know those days when you wake up and suddenly the world feels like it's spinning a little too fast? Like you're fine 1 second and the next you're in a mood that even you can't explain. Well, I've been there, and I'm pretty sure you have too. Mood swings are a natural part of being a human, but they can be tough to navigate, especially when life keeps throwing curveballs at us. So let's talk about it. Let's dive into why these mood swings happen, how to deal with them, and most importantly, why we absolutely need to take time off, why we must, actually. So first off, let's break it down. What causes these mood swings? Is it just random? Is the universe out to get us? Probably not. These are actually a lot of there are actually a lot of reasons why we go from everything is great to why is this happening to me in a matter of minutes. And no, it's not just because of what's happening around us, it's also what's happening inside us. I think this is actually the only reason. It's my personal opinion. So think about stress for a second. Stress is one of the biggest things when it comes to mood swings. It could be something big like work deadlines, relationship drama, or a family issue, or it could be something small like a never-ending to-do list or a random incident like spilling coffee on your favorite shirt. Stress doesn't need to be huge to throw us off. It can pile up in the smallest ways and completely mess with your emotional state. And there is exhaustion. When was the last time you actually had a full day to rest? Can you remember? We live in this world where productivity is king and resting feels like it's a luxury we can't afford. But guess what? If you don't rest, your body and mind are going to remind you. It's like running a car without refueling. Eventually, it'll break down. And that's when mood swings hit hard. Mood swings in the best case, a lot of the times people just get sick, they get random neck pain and they don't know where it comes from. So I've observed it in other people and I have actually also experienced it. And I'm pretty sure that that's because I don't take enough time to rest, and same applies to other people. So let's talk about hormones. Anyone? I'm going there. Hormonal changes can play a big role, especially for women. It's crazy how our bodies can just switch gears without warning, right? One moment you're fine and next you're crying over something completely silly, or on the flip side feeling like you're on top of the world. It's like a roller coaster ride and you didn't even sign up for it. And so yeah, that's quite an experience. So what do we do when our bodies are basically betraying us? Here's the thing. When you start feeling those mood swings hit, your first instinct might be to push through it, to keep going and to just power through. like those motivational videos. Oh, times are hard, but you know what? Well, let me tell you, that's not always the best idea. In fact, not taking time off can make things worse. Let's talk about recovery. Why we're feeling down, overwhelmed, or just off. It's easy to try distract ourselves with work, more social obligations, just staying busy, but recovery doesn't work like that. It requires slowing down and actually resting both physically and mentally. The body and mind need time to recharge, or else it's like trying to keep your phone running with 2% battery. Eventually it will shut down. So taking time off doesn't always mean a grand vacation, although, hey, if you got a chance, go for it. But most of the time, it just means taking a break from the things that are draining you. Maybe it's turning off your phone for a few hours, taking a nap, or just sitting quietly with a cup of tea. For me, a bubble bath works wonders. There's just something about being in warm water that helps reset my whole mood. So here's the thing about breaks. They're not just about resting your body. They're about giving your mind space to process. Sometimes we're so caught up in everything happening around us that we don't give ourselves the chance to reflect, relax, just be. That's when mood swings get amplified. So you need to take time to just exist. And it's okay. You need to tell yourself it's okay if I'm just sitting on a chair and I'm wonderful this way, doing absolutely nothing. I'm very valuable. So yeah, don't have any expectations. No productivity, no pressure, just time for you. And you might be surprised by how much better you feel after taking that space. And some things actually might start working out for you just on their own. You might not feel perfect, but you'll feel more in control. So let's talk about self-care strategies and what works for me personally. So everyone's different, but I think a lot of these are universally helpful. First off, I recommend journaling. It sounds simple, but writing down your thoughts can be such a game changer. When my mood swings are at their peak, I like to write about what's bothering me or just express whatever comes to mind. Sometimes just putting things on paper makes everything feel more manageable. I've noticed that once I started journaling, I stopped actually talking too much about problems that are not interesting to other people to listen, and it's telling other people not always solves it. So you just need to air out, but doing it through journaling, it gives you more power because you didn't give it to other people. You sort of kept it to yourself, but at the same time you expressed it in writing. So I find it's like a winning way to deal with it. Another thing I love is music. Sometimes all you need is a good playlist. For me, I have a chill vibes, uplifting playlist. So when I need to decompress, I sort of play it, and my thoughts can just wander wherever they want. I'll just listen and let the music wash over me. It's like giving my brain a break without having to think too much. And of course, exercise is a huge help. I know it's the last thing you want to hear when you're feeling drained, but trust me, a quick walk, a little yoga, or even a dance party in your living room can reset your mood faster than you think. It doesn't have to be intense, just, move your body. Me personally, I am very much into sports. Like, my body needs to exercise more. Like, in my mental health is much better when I have more intense exercises. I do badminton a lot. I can go 3 times a week, 4 times a week. And also volleyball. Right now I live by the beach, and there's a big beach volleyball community that I can join, which is more intense, and I still enjoy it. You just feel on one hand you work in a team, and on the other it just helps you to forget about everything really, and just focus on winning the game. And lastly, reach out for support. Whether it's a friend, a family member, or a professional, don't hesitate to talk about what you're going through. Sometimes, like I just mentioned, journaling helps, but a lot of the times we do need to talk to someone and get that understanding, or somebody can tell you, hey, that's all right, it's gonna get better, or it'll work out. That's okay. Whatever happened, it's not that big of a deal. Sometimes we need to hear those things. Sorry, I just plugged my my laptop. So sometimes just having someone listen can make all the difference, and you're not alone in this. But I just noticed that not everybody can listen the way we want them to listen, so journaling's still there for you. Yeah, so now that we've touched on the basics of mood swings, I want to dive deeper into stress. Not dive into stress, but just the topic. So we all know that stress can mess with our emotions, but what might surprise you is just how subtle stress can be. Sometimes it's not just the big things that get to us, it's the small, everyday stress. Everyday stresses can build up over time. Think about this, you're juggling a million things. Maybe you're working from home, managing kids, handling social media, keeping up with all the to-dos. That constant stream of mini stresses throughout the day can silently wear you down. And before you know it, boom, mood swing. It's that feeling of being on edge or a little more irritable than usual, and you don't even realize it's happening until something tiny pushes you over the edge. Maybe you snapped at someone over something silly like a misplaced coffee cup or a comment that would normally roll off your back. That's stress quietly building up in the background. So this is why it's so important to check in with yourself. Take a moment and ask, am I stressed? Is it easy? It's easy to think we're fine because I'm fine. like in the Friends episode with Ross when Rachel and Joey kissed and Ross was like, I'm fine. So we're just powering through the day, but taking a step back and asking that simple question might be the first step towards diffusing the tension. So let's talk about how to spot a mood swing coming. So have you ever noticed that mood swings don't just come out of nowhere? They're usually some kind of a trigger, something that sets it off. I know we'd all love to be like those serene people who seem to stay calm no matter what life throws at them, but most of us, well, we get moody sometimes. So how do you spot a mood swing before it takes over? Here's the thing, mood swings don't always happen instantly. There are signs that you're heading towards one, and once you spot them, you can take action before things get out of control. One thing I've noticed is how my body reacts before my mind does. When I'm about to go into a mood swing, I'll get tense. Maybe I start clenching my jaw, or I notice that I'm breathing a little faster than usual. It's like my body is getting ready for battle before my mind even realizes what's happening. So listening to your body is a great way to register the stress. So what can you do when you feel these signs? The best thing is to take a breath and check in with yourself. Ask, am I stressed right now? Is there something I need to let go of? Recognizing those signs early is the key to preventing a full-blown mood swing. Sometimes maybe you've scheduled an event or you're meeting up with someone. It's okay to cancel. Obviously, if it's something super important, then of course, like, I can't give you advice on canceling those things, but sometimes it's better to cancel things and give yourself some time to reflect on your feelings and give your body some rest rather than providing the worst version of yourself. So yeah, if recognizing signs early is the key to preventing a mood swing, and if that means taking a moment to dance it out in the living room or step outside for a quick walk, go for it. Taking action before a mood swing hits can save you from making decisions you'll regret later. Next step is embracing imperfection. It's okay to not be okay. Because we all think, no, I'm fine. It's nothing's wrong. But here's the thing, I really want to drive home, and it's probably the hardest part of dealing with mood swings, embracing imperfection. It's easy to think that we have to always be on, that we have to be happy, positive, calm person all the time, but here's the truth, that's just not realistic. We're all human, we're going to have our ups and downs, and that's okay. It's okay to feel off sometimes. It's okay to have those days when you're just not feeling it. For me, it's a very big problem to stop or just leave a situation when you're uncomfortable. Not smiling is really a big problem for me, and I'm still learning to express myself when I'm uncomfortable. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, instead of beating yourself up about it, take a step back and say, I'm allowed to feel this way. You don't need to justify your feelings or explain them to anyone. You're allowed to be imperfect, and your mood swings don't define who you are. I know it can be tempting to feel like we have to be in control all the time. We need to have our lives together. We need to be perfect. But trust me, striving for perfection will only make things worse. When you give yourself permission to be imperfect, to have an off day, it takes the pressure off. It helps you bounce back faster. I don't know if you have FOMO. Sometimes I do have FOMO, and it actually is another thing that stops me from just stopping and reflecting on what's going on, because I'm like, I need to go there because other people are going to be there and I'll miss on something. Don't worry. Just, it's okay. Let people miss you. It's fine. So this one's my personal favorite. Using humor to break the mood cycle. When things feel like they're spiraling, humor can be a lifesaver. And I'm not talking about forcing yourself to laugh when you don't feel like it, but sometimes just finding a little bit of comedy in your situation can totally change your perspective. Like friends, for example, they get into awkward situations all the time, but it's the way they show it is quite fun, and it's actually not a big deal when you sort of share with people who make you realize that this is not a big deal. So I'm guilty of getting caught in my head and overthinking things, but whenever I start to feel my mood slipping, I try to find something funny. It could be a ridiculous video, a meme that makes me giggle, like I really love watching fails, epic fails, or like cats when they sort of jump in a funny way or drop things, or just funny animal videos. Like remembering an embarrassing moment in my own life or in my friends' lives, and suddenly my whole mindset shifts. And another thing that helps is nobody cares about you. You sit and think that other people are thinking about yourself, but they're actually thinking about themselves. I mean, how many times have we been in a really bad mood only to see something hilarious and I think, why was I so upset about that? So humor can help reset your emotions and remind you that life's too short to take everything so seriously. Let's be real, we all need a good laugh, right? Even in the middle of a mood swing, laughter releases those feel-good hormones and can instantly lift your mood, so go ahead. Watch a funny video, tell that embarrassing story, and let yourself giggle. I think finding the right company for your stories might be your number one job. Like, tell it to people who will not embarrass you, but sort of laugh with you in a positive, good way, and maybe tell you their stories and, own it. It's fine. It happened. I'm a human. So let's talk. This is the serious part. Acknowledging when it's time to seek help. Self-care strategies are super helpful, but there are times when our mood swings become a bigger issue because we all are different and we all can deal with those things differently. So you're finding that your mood swings are impacting your relationship, your work, or your overall quality of life. It might be time to talk to a professional. I myself had a few psychology sections when I was overwhelmed. I needed to solve some of the relationship issues or questions that I had in my head, and I couldn't solve it. I just had no strength. I was so weak. I needed to talk to a professional who would explain me things from a professional point of view. And I have to tell you, it helped. It helped big time. I took 4 psychology sessions, and that was enough for me. For some people, it might take longer, but hey, we're all different. Asking for help can feel tough, especially if you're the type who likes to handle things on your own. But there's absolutely no shame in taking support when you need it. It's actually the sign of strength, acknowledging that, hey, I need help and I'm taking action. So Maybe it's talking to a counselor, a therapist, a trusted friend. Getting help can make a world of difference. Sometimes there are underlying factors like anxiety or depression that can make the mood swings worse. And a professional can help you navigate those feelings and give you tools to manage them more effectively. You don't have to do this alone. Help is available, and taking that step can lead to healthier coping mechanisms and more balanced emotional life. So, before I wrap up today's episode, I want to leave you with some questions to ask yourself the next time you're dealing with mood swings. And these are the kind of questions that can help you step back and understand what's really going on. Sometimes we don't realize how much we're carrying until we stop and think about it. So question number 1 to ask yourself is, what's been stressing me out lately? What is it? Acknowledge this, register the reason. The question number 2 is, am I getting enough rest? We live in a busy world and sleep is crucial. And how's your sleep quality lately? How's your sleep quality lately? Question number 3 is, when was the last time I took a break? If it's been a while, maybe it's time to schedule one. Question number 4, what makes me feel better when I'm down? Is it a walk? A chat with a friend? A cozy blanket? So yeah, know your recovery routine. Taking time off is an act of self-care, not self-indulgence. You deserve to feel good. You deserve to take care of your mind, body, spirit. So give yourself permission to rest and recharge when you need it. And with that, we've wrapped up today's episode of Oops and Giggles. I hope you've taken away some useful insights on managing mood swings, the importance of rest, and embracing imperfection. Life's a lot more manageable when we don't take ourselves too seriously. You're not defined by your mood swings. They're just part of the ride. So give yourself time and space you need to recover. If that means a nap, a laugh, or just a little dance break, go for it. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share with someone who would use a little reminder that it's okay to take a break. I'll catch you next time on Oops and Giggles. Bye bye.
Oh yeah!